Sometimes I can't help but be amazed at what I see spread out before me, Chi-Chi. Did you tell that turkey that he's in charge of construction and his primary obligation is to prevent lawsuits? Well, if his best suggestion for avoiding electrocutions is wall plates for the outlets, we have a problem. Pardon me, Chi-Chi. May I help you?
Oh, don't mind me. I am Catatonia's mother, an old woman with minimized capacities, homespun and lacking in sophisticated loquaciousness. Have you seen Catty?
Second stateroom on your right.
Thank you.
Hon, if you're confused by my lack of reaction, consider that I'm used to Georgia Hot Flash and all her freaky friends, and that really didn't seem all that strange to me.
Oh, Winston, man of 1,000 disguises.
Old habits die hard, Catatonia.
Did you have any trouble sneaking onto the boat?
Aucun problème du tout. And I can't resist saving money on airfare to New York and rekindling our conversations in the bargain.
Maybe.
Pardon me while I slip out of this prairie garb.
I might suggest you remain incognito, mon ami.
Oh, Surrenda.
She has grown all the more suspicious after Bruce let slip he had attended the art show of one of Catatonia's friend dealies. And she has beefed up security in general since a Danny O'Day impersonator began stalking her.
Say no more. I will remain in the guise of your mother. Is there anything I need to add to my ensemble for more believability? I took it she was an Alton fashion-wise.
Oh, I think your choices are très admirable.
And as far as embodying her essence, how does she spend her days?
Word-seek puzzles on the toilet.
It's the Dragonsail Puppets variety show, starring Surrenda, Bruce, Catatonia, and Henri, featuring the Dragonsail Puppets band. Anchors away.
It's a dark space and a broken line. It's a ladder full of bones we climb. Who will we find at the end of time?
Get in there!
Broken drums, rocky terrain, driving deeper into the roadstone place. Out of simple curiosity of how you be made free. We trace the dawn of our history to a few dust balls in space. And I would anchor and stay, put all my driving oars away, and make the most of this place. And I roast a face. Yes, I would anchor and stay, like a proper piece of clay, refuse to be displayed from underneath your roadstone face. Roadstone face. Roadstone face. Roadstone face. Until an old song rises from the sea, help me I must carry along, or I'll lose the race. Don't come to lose my face, become a racetrack train. Oh, inside your roadstone face. Ooh, your roadstone face.
Your face.
Ooh, your roadstone face.
Your face.
time as I follow out the rain. Light everywhere but where I stand. Too many flares in the sky, don't dare to blind your eyes. You need to find that only one passage away. Obliterating the light that remains. Slowly we're not the same. Will die, and all our cares will tempt us to cry, because the end is unknown. In a long ago dream, the fearful eyes would seem to follow us everywhere we'd roam. Who will I find at the end of my time, or will I find my dream of life alone? Solid stone.
Hello, my captivating loves. I hope I look as transcendent as you've come to expect. I had to do a swift, sharp veto at the wardrobe rack at the last minute. I told Chi-Chi, I know you work magic, girl, but the fate of blouses like those is to die in donation bags. You don't dare pull a loose string or the sleeves come off. Well, I hope you're all buckled in for the long voyage to NYC, my loves. Yes, that destination used to be such a big deal to Surrenda, but once you've conquered a city, it's just never quite the same. Which leads me to the matrimonial prospects of one Georgia Heartland. Lance, it appears her sugar, her benefactor, is stumbling backwards on his heels, pulling away from legalized coupling. I told her, what do you need with it anyway? He gives you an allowance to stay out of his hair during the day. You're free to yip and wail and fling ostrich feathers all over the brandy old coots at the Hobnail Lounge in your pursuit of artistry. Just be happy. She says she doesn't feel secure. I said, you shouldn't, hussy. Any minute now he could find a bigger rack of implants. That's why you save your money, honey. Now, is she doing so? One has to wonder. I know she's spending a lot on self-improvements. Lord, the latest was her European body treatment. $600 to wrap herself up in saran wrap. Full body mummification. As if she wasn't clingy enough. Lord, the crinkly sound when she would try to walk. I asked her, okay, Georgia, you wrap your belly and then let it simmer. Steam it with some herbs de Provence and Mrs. Dash. You see, that's how she ended up being shipped on that UPS truck to Nebraska. Oh, then there's her hair, defying all gravity and physics. It's so bush-like, it's epic. If she set it ablaze, it would be biblical. And although I have provided the world with a perfectly exceptional fragrance, she insists on experimenting, dousing herself in all manner of liquid skunk weed. Lately, her wind song stays on my mind. Then there were the high-energy dance lessons during which her directionless groin kicks in just so many. Blame it on the bossa nova. Oh, the acting lessons. Lord. The melodramatic audition reel she did about tramping from store to store trying to beat the high price of laundry detergent. You would have thought she was following Jesus' path through Golgotha. And ain't no telling what's to come of all of us if she bounces another therapy check. Oh, her attempts at making her own clothes, where every outfit looked like a bed comforter with bat wing sleeves. Oh, the tanning salon, where it looked like she requested lobster for the face and neck and pencil eraser pink for the legs. Oh, her work done on her eyes, bless it. Those eyebrows look like a try at a party on top, while the bags below have seen too much business. I mean, when I saw the detailed rundown on her enhancement plan, I asked her, wouldn't it be easier to just transplant your brain into another body? I mean, aside from the laws forbidding the handling of toxic waste. But there's at least been one bit of good news on that front. Her doctor has told her she's just 10 stomach flus away from her ideal weight. See y'all on the other side.
Turn back the stream of time.
Keep it classy, hon. You on speakerphone. Oh, no, Georgia. Forget it. Not Velveeta Flames. Lord, I wouldn't trust her to be the event coordinator for a fish tank. And again, I have an empire to run. I refuse to dock and drive to the Red Roof Inn in Bucksnort for Little Miss Petri Dish's 14th intervention. Anyway, I was the one telling y'all she was one messed up Starbucks order away from a total mental breakdown. I don't know what else to do. I done told you how to do a sobriety test on a hussy over the phone. Google it, finger to the nose. Well, if you're thinking of doing a commercial for your YouTube channel, which don't make sense in the first place since the only way we'll ever see it is on your YouTube channel, I suggest for the upteenth time you do it on a small budget. I'm thinking birthday balloons and baby's breath. Lord, just mentioning baby's breath has got me sneezing. Actually, something's been itching my nose all day. The smell of agua velva has been overpowering on this boat ever since we left Virginia Beach. Come to think of it, I've smelled it before, and it's always strongest wafting through the air from Catatonia's room. And Lord knows that cat ain't exactly on a hot tin roof. The closest thing to a gentleman caller she ever had was... Georgia, I need to find Cheap Cheap. Henri.
Yeah?
Hun, I need you to finish giving Georgia this list of notes, all right?
Well, let's see. Surrenda says to tell you what wafer-thin plot line allowed for this travesty. I'm not sure what that's about. And she says about the posters you had printed, no words, only sadness. Also, she thinks they didn't sprinkle lithium on your jello when you were in the hospital because they don't just give that stuff away. She thinks you were just like Teddy. And she says we won't be having that Russian state-approved comic on the show who makes balloon animals that look like Putin and Gorbachev. Oh, shucks.
For whilst indulging in the confidence of roses, beauty is enough to forgive the thorn.
So true, so true. Where would we be without dream logic? It certainly inspires us to make progress.
But it's always leading us close to ruin by convincing us there is no present danger.
Yes, the arm can be reattached.
We can cross the tumultuous waves.
We have outwitted the authorities.
Victory will be ours.
That number will secure our fortune.
Surely that noise was not a bear.
We can finally let down our guards and submit to the sirens.
I'm sure they'll be kind. Insanity, sheer insanity.
Sometimes we find ourselves dressing up like dottery old women to have tea with our friends. So for these special occasions, accept nothing less than Ahoy Mateys coffee and tea assortments.
Picture an elaborate stage with strobe lights, candles, and wizards, and street people all wearing dashikis, playing flutes and cymbals and ukuleles, and tossing flowers as they marched around the city walls. It was the 60s, mind you.
Your marriage ceremony should be immortalized in a memoir, Catatonia.
Well, perhaps after Herman Melville is no longer occupying my muse.
No marriage ceremonies for me, I must say. But who knows what the future holds?
Probably not much, but who cares when you can simply enjoy the scintillating aromatic cornucopia in each metal tin of Ahoy Mateys coffee and tea assortments.
Oh, yes, she was the oldest living woman in France up until that time. A dear, spirited friend. She was often quoted as saying, "God has forgotten me." The gods, however, neither forget nor forgive, and she did eventually die. I remember my brother was there burning the wormwood out of her cherry trees.
Greetings, friends. It seems you keep finding me in the most madcap of circumstances. Are you the Easter Bunny? Your wit is only exceeded by your soul stylings, Bruce, which gift the world a luxuriousness for which we are not often worthy. It's what I do.
You look kind of familiar. Were you the lady who baked us the Kwanzaa cake with the corn nut?
Both airy and delicious. It's quite possible you referenced the source of my present incarnation, Henri. Alas, my attempts at a playful subterfuge donning the identity of an antiquated babushka have reached their perhaps inevitable sundown.
Okay.
For it appears I am now to be given over to Surrenda for trial. Uh-oh, is she coming? Quite soon, I'm afraid.
Oh man, she gave you the cloth rope. She always gives me the itchy burny kind.
Chi-Chi, hold my calls. Ah, I see the guard dogs arrived to keep you in place.
Surrenda, if I may.
Why do you keep bouncing back like a bad penny? What evil crimes of extortion and larceny and malevolent conspiracy have you planned? I bet you were the hussy who ate all the clam dip.
Well,
we'll all know the answer to that probably within the hour. Now, I can't believe you just want to hang out with some retired pensioner professor in bunny slippers listening to her drone on about Moby Dick. State your business here.
Surrenda, I regret my initial malfeasance, as well as my current seeming deception.
Oh, Lord.
But I assert most respectfully I meant no harm. Please consider the life of an art professor, so long admiring the gifts bestowed upon the likes of yourself, and knowing that only by a vicarious connivance might I edge closer to that light. Yes, I, like so many, trespass within your shadow, but within that shadow, we are warmed.
So you sure can talk.
I was hoping that during my stay, I might be able to find a way of giving patronage to you and your ensemble by way of returning the gift.
Venmo, PayPal, bank transfer, it all works, hon. I'll go get Chi-Chi to shuttle you into the green room and we'll talk.
I so appreciate your leniency and generosity, Surrenda.
Yeah, well, not all heroes wear capes.
Love is a feeling when you're working together. You proudly lift your chin, but I'm attracting your fin. The depths are still below, but a life can grow down there. It's all in the chemistry. Flowers and fish, and I'm found above. Because life is a sea, and life lives in the sea. And it lives out from the sea. Trot its happy ass out and climb a tree. The whole world is a sea, and over all the surging and the swaying. There's the birds and the wind and the bees, the butterfly and all the seed. And everything moving of necessity. Because life is a restless, hungry sea. But it's a given sea. It's a reason for you and me. It's why the fish swim, the bees buzz, the monkey do what he does all above us in the branches of the tree. Now look at me, it wasn't me. It was totally the sea. Goats and serpents scream. We roam over ladders of bones, cause we would climb into the rafters and the vines to hang and swing, or change the course of history. Blow out everything. That's right, sucker. But the sea with the surge and the sway, it'll wash it all away. It'll wash it all away. Wash it all away. It's no diss. Just follows out its rhythms and it's having none of this. Because life is a sea. Give it a sea. And life lives in the sea. Such a given sea. Life lives out of the sea. Do when it drew, or it flew, or it grew, or it blew. It'll try its happy ass out and climb a tree. Or it gets fit, transfits, and zips up like a bright red comet. Turn back, turn track back to the green. Cause there's no oxygen like the sea. Track in the sea, let it wash all over me. It gives me and it gives me and it asks me back for nothing.
Oh, thank you once again, my loves, for joining us on the boat, especially those who paid to be here. Because of the likes of you, we remain booked and blessed, honey. So remember what I tell my hussies, ain't nothing wrong with dollar store makeup. Lord, just consider the alternative and go forth and live it life. Or suck it up, hussy. Oh, my heavens.
Surrenda's gowns, courtesy of the Pinch My Penny Markdown rack. Wardrobe consultation by Chi-Chi's Productions. Personal assistant to Surrenda, also that drag queen from Guatemala. Special promotional consideration by Georgia Hot Flash. Surrenda's fragrance, honeysuckle passion, makes a hussy smell good and is also great for sticky shoes, squeaky hinges, and stuck drawers.
Oh, I'm ready.